Hello, this is JM83, and this is round 19 of AOR this season. We're pretty close to the end of the season now, and it is the Mexican Grand Prix, as you can see. And we're going to be putting on the Super Sauce because I was planning on qualifying at Ultras to do the comfortable one-stop in the race. Loading this out of here as always, but then you can see it's actually wet in the race at the start. So that means I can do whatever I want, so I'm going to definitely go on Ultras. But yeah, the race is going to be wet at the start and then dry later in the race. So yeah, pretty exciting. And now coming onto the qualifying session, obviously got two sets of ultras because I chose the harder strategy, so only 2 runs I can do, and I could have done 3 or 4, which is a bit annoying. But yeah, coming up to the end of the first lap, a really good attempt at doing the last corner there. Hitting the wall on the outside is the best way to take it, I think. And now a 14.9, which is not brilliant. My PB I think was a 14.2, but I didn't do loads of practice, so there was time to get on that. So like a high 13 wouldn't be possible if I actually went together. But this is actually my best lap in quali now, the second run on this set of tyres. So you can see, yeah, it's hard to believe since I'm already 2/10 down in turn 1, 2 and 3. But yeah, this actually was my best lap, and you can see getting maybe a little bit of slipstream off Madman, but no, not too much as he backs off there. But coming down towards turn 4, breaking 100 metre board. I had to use low ARS mode because obviously doing 2 laps back to back, I don't have enough to do high ARS on both of them. So unfortunately, there's already potential loss that I could have had if I actually run high ARS. But yeah, I can see through the that tight twisty section, pretty nice through there. Now the S's are really fun to do, especially on the wheel. Like the first time I've driven this track on the wheel, and it's really good in the middle sector as long as you actually get it right, which I've done very well there actually. I took it quite a lot of speed through most of the corners. And I come down towards the stadium section, braking just for the black box on the left. 4th gear, try not to run wide, you invalidate your time there, and now through the stadium section, clipping the inside curve nicely, and then try and get a straighter run possible. A little bit of a track extend, but I don't care. And now coming around the last corner, a much better run through there this time. And it's going to be a little bit of improvement to a 14.5, which isn't awful. Obviously, it's not great, but yeah, this is my last lap. You can see that the time is now gone, so this is my last attempt in quali, breaking 100 metre board pretty nicely through there, and you can see already getting loads of time on the previous lap. Then Ethan has retired, and his AI car is completely in the way, so I had to avoid him, but still we're 2/10 up. Going down towards turn 4, then we've got ERS to use this time, so this lap could be a big improvement if I actually nail it. Going through turn 4 and 5 now, pretty really good run through there as well. A little bit of a loss on the previous time, but we're still 2/10 up, so it could be a low 14 here. And now coming out the hairpin there at the end of the far part of the track, and on through the S's, try to take him nicely, pretty good through the first one, and now try to keep it well, but then a little bit of oversteer in the middle, and that really compromised my run, absolutely ruined it basically. Like that little oversteer moment has completely ruined this lap. It could have been a low 14, maybe even a high 13 if I nailed it, but now I'm trying to make up time. I'm pushing way too hard and getting loads of oversteer, taking too much speed to corners, and unfortunately it didn't improve. So yeah, it's a 14.5 on the grid. There's only 12 people, unfortunately, as it is the end of the season always, so yeah, not surprising really. But Adam on pole, Pickler second, Ben at 3rd, and Extremes in 4th. I'm 5th on the grid, which is okay. You can see on the timing screens there, it says 4 clouds of intermediates, and usually that timing screen is perfectly right. So my intuition was that it would be raining for at least half the race, if not a little bit more. But now I come onto the grid for the 5 red lights for the Mexican Grand Prix in the wet weather. As a pretty long hold, but away at last, and it looks like a decent start compared to, well, pretty average compared to around me actually. Ben's already got a disconnected X next to his name, don't know what that's about, but yeah, try and get in slipstream, but obviously if he lags back I want to avoid that, so I'm going to pull out of it. He's actually just disappeared, he's used teleportation device to teleport himself to last place there. But now through turn 1, we're going running outside of everyone. Adam's gone wide, so Pickles into the lead. Try and avoid the carnage, don't get damaged. Ethan's running outside as well. Pickles has gone wide as well, so loads of mistakes going on. Extremes is in 2nd. He's going to have a big run on Pickles now, and Ethan's up to 3rd from even behind me on the grid, so he's done very well off the start to get up to the podium places. And Adam is just ahead of me now, maybe thinking about a move at the inside, but just about backing out of that, as that would have been very foolish to go up the inside there. The crucial thing is just not to get damage in the first lap, really. The first few laps, it's a long race, and obviously we want to try and stay into it for as long as possible. If we have to pit for damage, it'll be very compromising. Basically, Stream's already getting a little bit of a gap. Ethan's up to 2nd now, so he's gone from, I think, 6th to 2nd in one sector of the race. So, well done to him on that start, but yeah, we'll see how it goes for him later in the race. But through the S section on the first lap, obviously I didn't do any wet practice, as why would I? So this was completely guessing how to drive this track in the wet. A little bit of oversteer there, nice little safe. And now coming down towards the stadium section, no idea where to brake. I'm just going to guess at the start of the curve. Unfortunately, Blazer Guns has completely missed where he's to brake and put Adam straight in a wall. Adam went wide himself, but then Blazer Guns completely missed his braking point and went careering into him. So that's gave me a place, but yeah, unfortunate for Adam, and obviously Blazer Guns as well. They both got pretty bad damage. I think Blazer Guns got a penalty for that, but not too big really. And now Cohen, I feel that's later lap 9. The whole field is sort of strung out a bit. you can see on the minimap, Extremes is now winning ahead of Pickless. Ethan's down to third, and I'm catching up pretty quickly. As usual, it seems like I'm normally right behind Ethan in races lately, and now coming down towards turn 4 on lap 9, quite a lot later. I've just been driving around in 4th, sort of minding my own business, and now we're not quite close enough for me this time, but we're pretty close to him, so we could have a chance later in the lap, or a few laps time. And Ethan's still just ahead in his Williams car, and now coming down towards the start of the next lap, lap 10. We've got Rich Mix overtake mode. Jeff is giving a new strategy of staying on inters because apparently it's still wet enough for inters, and my tyres aren't doing great. But now Ethan is on the defensive line. I've gone right on the outside. That should be a fairly easy move. Braking pretty standardly, and now going on into turn 1, and that's that move done. For third place, I want to the podium, which is quite nice, as I'm pretty good at this track, I like to think. I've had pretty good times here in the past in AOR, and I do like it quite a bit, so hopefully I can stay here and get a good result. Obviously a few people aren't here, which sort of helps, but yeah, I'm up to third at the minute, and now you can see my tyres are on 58. If you remember the weather indicator at the start said that it was going to rain for 4 out of 7 clouds, so I was thinking like lap 20 for dry tyres. So I came into the pits, as Jeff said at the start of this lap, for new intermediates, which should get me to when it's dry enough for dry enough for the dry tyres, sorry. So coming to the pits now with everyone, it seems like they've got the same idea, putting on fresh inters, which was a great idea, obviously. I've been held in the pits, which is really nice. Ludimer and Ben, I think, held me in the pits, so Ethan's jumped me in the pits, that's really nice. But he's also on dry, as you've probably noticed, which I was a bit confused about because I thought it was still easily wet enough for inters for another like 10 laps or so. And Ethan's losing it everywhere on the exit. But yeah, I quickly realised that actually it's not raining and hasn't been for like 3 laps. So that was a big mistake. I've gone onto inters when it's completely dry, and I've overtaken Ethan though because I'm actually really good at this game. But yeah, unfortunately, I've pit onto inters when it's dry. So I'm gonna have to pit again fairly soon, probably at the end of this lap. Coming down towards turn 4 now, we're actually pulling away a little bit from Ethan. Maybe his tyre heat up isn't great, but yeah, you can see coming through turn 4 now, not much grip, and you can see DRS is about to be enabled. There you go. So it's now officially dry enough for dry tyres, which is pretty annoying because if I went one more lap, which I could have done quite easily, then I would have definitely put onto the dries because DRS was enabled then. So I should have checked the weather more with Jeff, but I always like to trust the indicator. Apparently that was wrong this time. So yeah, end of lap 11, 1 lap later, back into the pits for the super softs, which hopefully will get me to the end. My tyre wear is normally pretty decent. But yeah, this is just so frustrating because I think I had the pace for a podium, at least top 4 definitely. So yeah, a bit annoying that I've made 2 pit stops in 2 laps. Not the best strategy, I think you can all agree. But we are going to come out just behind Soy Cabbages in 8th, but he is on ultras, so there's no way he's making it to the end. And Adam is also on ultras just behind. He's going to have a pretty good run though, as I've just come out the pits. So he's recovering obviously from that collision he had on the lap 1. So he's done pretty well to he's still be in the hunt a bit for the lower end of the points. Coming through turn 1, 2 and 3 now, obviously my tyres are very cold, just come out the pits. A little bit of a corner cut there, obviously, that's why wouldn't I just decide to get a warning for no reason. I'm coming down towards turn 4. Adam is in the section. We're going defensive, trying to hold the line, and now breaking 100 metre board, locking up the front right a little bit and almost hitting Adam there, but he loses space on the inside very fairly, and that is his position gained. I'm down to 9th, but it shouldn't be too much of an issue because those 2 drivers both have to pit at some point. And that's like Couch, as you can see, just heavily going very defensive, but then coming back to the racing line as well. So lap 19 now, obviously it's quite a bit later just because I have no pace, or I did have a bit of pace, but just wasn't near anyone to actually like use it or show it. So I've obviously cut a corner following Soy Cabbages there, out of pity for him cutting turn 2. I decided to cut it as well, and now coming down towards the turn 4. He's going defensive again, but breaking 100 metre board, I'm actually purple because the track evolution's pretty mental at the minute. But it's coming through turn 5 now. He's gone very wide off the track, so I'm just going to take that position quite easily up into 8th, which is obviously not where I want to be. But that's the way it goes. Sometimes mistakes are made in league racing. So then you can see lap 29, really nothing happened. I was just driving around, but you can see Ethan is pitted because his tyre wear was too bad. And also there's 2 more cars in the pits. There's Ludimer and Adam. Adam's coming for inters again because it is starting to rain a little bit, but it's definitely not time for inters now. But unfortunately that was that. Literally nothing happened. I apologise for such a boring race, but these things happen sometimes. I came 5th, which I would definitely take, having made such a mess up of the strategy. Some gymnasts came 4th. My main rival, 3rd in the championship, comes 1 position ahead of me. Coming across the line now, 5th place. I didn't have that many penalties, so I stayed in 5th place. So Extremes won the race. I think his first win of the season. Ben recovered to 2nd after that screen freeze off the start. Pickless came 3rd, but he was going to win until a very late puncture. So I do believe I could have come 3rd that race if I didn't mess up the strategy, because you can see I came 20 seconds behind Pickless, and a pit stop is over 20 seconds. So that's the way it goes. I obviously made a mistake. I could have got a podium, but didn't. Definitely should have got 4th, but didn't. That's, yeah. So I hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more. This video 83, and I will see you next time.